All right, we are live. LampBitous crew is in the building. What's going on, y'all?
Yo, how everybody doing tonight?
Good, man. Podcast with a purpose.
We in the
Yeah.
house. Got some
Um,
greatness that we're about to spread to the people tonight. Lots of meaningful things going on. So, did y'all have a good weekend this weekend?
yeah, it was actually a really nice weekend. A nice weekend and day of some Dynamo soccer. So that was pretty neat. I haven't been there in about, I think, since the stadium opened, which was maybe 2009 or something like that. But that was pretty cool to go over there and hang out. And I know Lloyd is probably going to talk a little bit more about it, what we did as far as Lamp. So other than that, just kind of relaxed a little bit, enjoyed the weather.
Nice,
That's pretty much all I did.
nice.
hmm
And for me, it's an official countdown. This grad school life, I don't have weekends. So it's just like homework. I wait till last minute, so it's self-inflicted, but it's like I have like 4 more weekends and then the holidays are coming. Oh my God. But but other than that, like Pat said, we want to thank the Houston Dynamos. That was definitely a treat for us. The free tickets. It was just good to get out. They lost. Their season is over, but it was good to get out. Beautiful stadium.
Nice,
hmm
nice. I actually bought myself a new home studio for photography. So I'm playing around, learning a lot. I've been playing with everything this weekend, so I'm pretty excited. I like new toys, and I like to teach myself new things. So I've just been on YouTube, just learning. But that's going to be something that is just going to help the brand be looking more professional. So that's what I was doing this weekend.
I mean, shout out to you, Ambi. I mean, it was first gun range, shooting range. Now it's the track suits. Now it's the photo shoots. Now, like, look, we're gonna be the one-stop shop. Like, if you need something, holler at Ambi.
Okay, so let me get it all set up, and I will be offering services. So.
Yeah.
Exactly. Any more announcements we got, or before we get started?
Well, definitely on the Lamp front, we're excited this weekend to be teaming up with TSU. First time teaming up with a university, Avenue 360 and Muscleheads Gym. So this month is National Diabetes Month. It's near and dear to my heart because my mom is diabetic, and so definitely wanted to put something together. And so Saturday is free screens for anyone in the third ward area in the community. You know what I mean? That's big, free. So it's diabetic screenings, also HIV testing. And so just come out, have a good time, get you a workout in it afterwards or whatever. We will have hand sanitizer, we will have masks. So it'll be, following the COVID protocol with that. And then we also have a event coming with our little brother, basically, Mr. Sheldon, their officer, Theragood, who every year it's his 7th annual community outreach.
Mhm.
And we'll talk more about that later, but huge things coming.
Awesomeness. So, what do we have going on for the show tonight?
Okay, good. We got a nonprofit of the month. So this is last month was the first. This is the second for the month of November. We have Charm School 101, and the first guest. Let's go ahead and bring them on. Are you ready,
Yes.
Miss Tierra Gandy?
Welcome,
How you
Sarah.
doing?
Hey.
How y'all doing?
We got to put in a round of applause for you. Welcome to the LampBitous show. Welcome. You got a lot of fans out there looking at you.
Oh, we need them. Look, we need them. We need donations too.
So congratulations. We're gonna get to that. Actually, we have of course, with the show, it's a lot of awareness, and a lot of it is collaborating and connecting. So, as far as the nonprofit, kind of tell us about the nonprofit, and congratulations on being nominated for the LampBitous Lamp Nonprofit of the Month. So tell us what the name and the purpose and everything about it.
So Charm School 101 Academy, all girls organization, and it's all about teaching girls how to love themselves, showing them how to find their purpose and how to just go after their dreams. And so I actually started about, in 2010 officially, but I made it kind of a business in 2013 and formed it into a nonprofit 2 years ago. So I, as a I guess preteen, so seventh grade, I was sexually assaulted by two boys that I were called my friends. So just a little naive tomboy, that was so I was sexually assaulted by them, and I lost my complete self-identity, and I didn't love myself. I was put harm on myself. I tried to commit suicide when I was 15 and never really told anybody till I was about 23 years old. So once I told somebody, I started telling my story to the students, because I'm also a teacher, to the students that I worked with at my school in 7th and 8th grade. And the first time that I told my story to my group of girls, 5 or 6 of them told me their story of how they were either sexually molested or assaulted by somebody close to them or mom's boyfriend. So every time I told my story after that, it was somebody else in the crowd. And so it literally became my sole purpose, where I just want to empower girls. And it doesn't have to be someone where something has happened to them. It's also preventable, so I want them to know that if something ever happens to them like that they can speak out, and that they don't have to be afraid, and they can tell someone that they trust. And then also, in addition to that, so many of my kids deal with trauma, whether it's a loss of a parent, divorce, anything under the sun. And so I just try to create a safe place for them to be able to just love themselves and really love who they are and their identity and get to know themselves.
Oh, I love it. I absolutely love it. So my first question is, so so you are a teacher, but are those the course girls that you work with, or do you recruit from outside of the school? How do you get your girls that you get in contact with?
It's a good question. So I recruit from everywhere. Actually, one of my girls that we have on is in Houston. So I try to recruit from any state, because eventually I want to have a summer camp where they are coming here, whether they're out of town or not. And they'll be able to spend a whole week, just really empowering themselves and learning about themselves and other girls, and creating that camaraderie and that rapport with other girls from all over the world.
I love it. Go ahead, Laura.
Oh no, I was just gonna say, man. First of all, your story is tremendous, and I really appreciate you sharing that, because there's so many people that are not transparent or forthcoming about that, and it's that's the whole Stop the Silence movement. So definitely appreciate that. I just want to say, not to get political, but the whole Kamala Harris thing, I feel that it's going to empower the whole brown or black movement for women, as far as to know that you can be anything that you can be, sort of like the President Obama, like, hey, you can be anything you want to be. And I think, how are you going to use that as far as the whole empowerment movement that you have going on?
And it's literally just what you just said, letting girls know that they have a voice and that their voice matters, and stepping outside of that comfort zone to just speak it and to say it and to be bold about it. So I'm all about teaching boldness and confidence and pushing them, into their destiny. So literally just exactly what you just said, and just training and teaching them how to do that. In a sense, they take classes where we're going to work on, speeches, how do I speak out? How do I be confident? How eye contact, posture, all of that. And so that, in addition to creating programs such as a scholarship program where they'll have to perform in front of people, and, that just builds confidence all along the way. So those are some things that are in the making. And that's kind of how I plan to, make sure that they are empowered, that they can use their voice, and that they can be, Kamala Harris one day, or, whatever. So whatever they want to be, like, I want to unlock that fear and just push them forward into their destiny.
And Miss, they call you Coach T, don't they?
Yes. Well, that's for my life coaching stuff. So I have a whole nother program.
Oh, okay.
they call me Miss Gandy or Miss Tierra or Miss T for my girl.
Okay, gotcha. So, is there a certain age group that you are focusing on? Because I do think that this is very important because a lot of this is just life skills that they don't teach in the classroom. So these are things that they're going to learn from other people's experiences that are like them. So, what age group are you looking at, and what or any particular demographic?
So I specifically teach, or I'm sorry, for charm school, it's 9 to 18 years old. So I'm starting at 9 years old. I know eventually I'm going to probably start at 5, but right now I am doing 9 years old to 18 years old. But I also have a women's organization. So I work with girls across the board and women across the board. But we start at 9 years old to 18 for my kids.
Communities in schools.
Sorry, I missed it because you're on mute.
Oh,
you're good now.
Uh-huh. Okay. Have you ever heard of the organization Communities in Schools?
No, I haven't.
Okay, so it's a national dropout prevention organization. It's literally all over the United States. I actually worked for them in Brazoria County, and we did a lot of what you're doing now. But I'm just curious to see if you've partnered with any organizations or anything like that to help you with your movement.
No, I haven't. I mean, I have been in a few schools where I've done my curriculum in the schools, but as far as that, it's just been me just kind of reaching out and, people kind of sharing with principals, who I am and what I do. So that's kind of been how I get where I go. But other than that, I haven't partnered with just a big organization like that at all.
Well, they are very open to these type of things. They are very open to bringing people like yourselves into the schools, and just like how I did it. I would have an after school program, and I would do Girl Scouts. Girl Scouts would come in and talk to my group, or I'll have Scouts come in and talk to my group. But it's just a good resource. I say, just if you have one in your school, in your town, reach out, and they're really open to partnerships like this. And I just love what you're doing.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you so much. I appreciate it.
Definitely. See, we have some of your charm school girls. Let's go ahead and introduce them and bring them onto the show.
All right. So first I'll let the oldest go. So Sanaya, phenomenal young lady, and she is just so beautiful from the inside out. And she has experienced a little bit of hurt in her life, but I've seen her grow so much. And she's my one that's actually in Houston. So for her to commit and to get on this is just amazing to me. So it really makes my heart warm because she has the commitment to get on and to, be a part of this. So this is Sanaya.
Hi.
Yes, definitely. Thank you for coming on. And I guess
I can't hear you.
My mom muted.
Sounds like very muffled.
Okay, let me put this up. Can you hear me better now?
What did she say? It's like very high pitched.
It sounds like
frequency
in the background.
Can you hear now? I think you're at a base.
You
can hear me. You're at a game.
I can hear. Yes, sir. Supporting my brothers. Jesus. I can hear you. I can hear Miss Gundy.
Cool.
I don't know. It's just like
a little bit.
I'm sorry. I don't want to pronounce her name wrong. It's like it sounds very
it's all
high
good.
frequency.
It's all good. Yeah.
Yeah.
Tony, I'll translate what she
Go
said.
ahead. What was your question, Ambitious, and I'll translate it.
Well, just basically, what's something that she's taken away? What's like the funnest part about being in the charm school? What do you like most about it?
So she asked, what's the best part of Charm School 101 that you love about it? What do you love about it?
What I loved about it is it really helped me grow, because when I first started, I was a very broken spirit, but I never really let it show. So it was like very broken, like very deep in pain that I always hid. And Ms. Gundy actually told me it's okay to cry. You don't always have to be the strong person. It's okay to let certain people in. It's okay to let it out and grow. And that's what I was scared of doing. So that was my favorite part. And that's what I love about it.
Awesome. So empowerment. You get a lot of empowerment and motivation, and just the strength and the motivation to keep on going and keep pushing. I absolutely love all of this. Do you guys have any additional questions?
I have a question. So, what's something? Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can
Can
hear
you hear
you.
me?
I can hear you.
Okay. So, what's something that you can take away and provide for the next generation coming up in Charm School 101? Like, what's something that you can, because I think we're only as strong as our team, we're only as strong as the people that we bring up as we uplift. So, for someone that was in the
Hmm.
same position that you were in, what's one thing that you can like reach out and let them know, hey,
Let
it's
it
gonna
out.
be okay, or
Don't ever
you
hold it
know,
in. If you hold it
bring them
in,
along.
you will break. Like, one thing that I would take away, that one exercise that really broke me was the mirror exercise. I didn't like it at first, but it helped me grow. So I would tell them, look at themselves in the mirror and tell me, what do you see? What can you fix, or what broke you in the first place? How can you take that out of your life, and how can you grow from it? That's the one thing that took me a while to really understand. Because when I lost my grandmother in 2019, it broke my world. When I say broke my world, I mean I was shattered. And so once I've done that and I kind of thought about it, I was like, okay, I didn't do anything. It's not my fault. It's not the world's fault. I'd rather her be in heaven, not suffering, versus her being in a whole bunch of pain, taking God knows what. So that's probably what I would give advice to somebody, which is breathe and take a look at yourself in the mirror. How can you grow from the pain that someone else caused you? So yeah.
Thanks for that testimony. Is it Tanaya, correct?
Yes, sir.
Awesome, awesome. I got one of your other charm school mates in the background. Miss Gandhi, you want to go ahead and introduce her as well?
Yes. Now Lyric is one of our babies, so she's actually in fourth grade. I actually go, I teach at her school. So she is very, I see her almost every day. And so she is just an amazing young girl as well, who's working really hard to just become, better and to learn as much as she can. She has matured a lot over the last year. She actually has experienced some pain as well, where she lost her father and her stepfather within a year. So she's been through a lot, and just adjusting to it. She's done a pretty great job. Looks like she got knocked off, but
Yeah, hopefully she can log back in, but she might pop back up if she logs back in real quick. But she's been through similar situations. So are you finding that as a commonality amongst the ladies or the young ladies?
um, it's not always the same type of pain,
Mhm.
but it's some kind of trauma that they experience, whether it's a loss of a loved one or but I guess in my group that I have now, I will say the loss of their father or someone that was close has been kind of a commonality. And so it's heartbreaking because I haven't experienced that at this point. So I just have to try to help the best way I know how, help them deal with it and help them just kind of take a step through it and just go through the process.
Okay, cool.
Would you say the pandemic has played a part? Like, have you seen any changes, any trends going to, any certain particular way?
Um, yeah, I mean, I think that because I know during the pandemic, we ended up having to do some classes virtually. So we didn't get to do a lot of things in person. And because we ended in July. And so getting started back up, everything has been virtual. So I think that has been an effect on everybody, because I mean, if you think of us even as adults, it affected us, and so I can only imagine how our kids have been affected. And working in a school, I can just see how now that we have all of our kids at school, there's a total difference in the way that they learn. They still can't touch each other, but other than that, I mean, you think about kids playing outside and they can't play tag, or they can't do anything that's touching and be kids. So so that has been a difficult thing, I believe. But all in all, that is pretty much kind of what I think. I think that it's been a huge thing on everybody, not just kids, but just everybody as a whole. Help them cope with loss of a loved one. What techniques do you use? Do I answer that question?
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay. The question is, how do you help them cope with loss of a loved one? What techniques do you use? So we always talk about our negative and positive coping mechanisms. So I am a big believer in bringing other people in. And so we actually partner with a counselor, a licensed counselor. So she's an LPC. And she actually came in and she talked about positive coping mechanisms and negative coping mechanisms and the difference between the two. And so that was very important to me for the simple fact that when I went through my trauma, I was a negative coping. So I was cutting myself and harming myself. So I always try to strive to find ways to get them to hear the same message that I give them from somebody else. So she'll go through a step-by-step, goal as to how we can cope with our emotions. There's Lyric, I think. I see Lyric. I hope that answered your question.
Yeah, so I was trying to see if Lyric popped back on, but I'm not sure if her if she's having technical issues. So we'll just keep her on the side, and then I think another question popped up.
Okay, what was it? I think I missed it. Do you use motivational interviewing? Can you elaborate on what motivational interviewing is?
Okay, so we'll tell the Jean Williams in the audience, if you heard her, just elaborate on that question as we're trying to see if Lyric can join us.
Lyric, are you there, baby?
Mm-hmm.
There she goes.
Take your video, put your video on. We want to see your beautiful face.
There you go, Lyric.
I've already introduced you, so you're here.
Welcome to the show, Lyric.
Hello.
So we're gonna ask you the same question we asked Sanaya. What's the best part of Charm School that you like? What do you enjoy the most?
I don't know. It's a lot of things.
You better pick one thing, girl.
What's your favorite? What do you like to do the most?
I don't know.
Don't you love the mirror?
No.
Okay, so why don't you like the mirror?
Because it's hard.
It's hard.
I don't like to talk about things about things that happen in life.
So it's hard for you to talk about the things that you've dealt with. So what is something that you learned that you may be able to teach someone else?
That you have to do the mirror if you don't want to do it.
Oh, push through. That's what it sounds like. You have to push through. You have to
overcome it.
Yes. You have to overcome the things that you don't want to do. That's a great lesson. That's something that adults can take away also. There's lots of things I don't want to do every day, but we got to push through.
That's right.
I like that.
So I wanted to get Sanaya back on as well. Can you hear us, Sanaya?
Mm-hmm. She gave a thumbs up.
I can hear you.
Okay. So how old are you, Sanaya?
I'm 15.
15? Okay. So what would you, I guess,
Yes, sir.
if you had a message just to leave to other young girls that are, at your school, even younger sisters or even older kids that are, seniors in high school or something like that, like what kind of message would you leave to them? And would you recommend Charm School to some of them?
Most definitely. One thing I would recommend, like in education and, first education, don't give up because online school is a pain, but it challenges you to see what you can really do. Life-wise, don't shut everybody out because when you do, you're going to feel like you're alone more than you already felt like you were, even though you still have that support system like your mom, your dad, auntie, grandmama, whoever. just never let, like, don't ever close up,
Right.
basically. Because when you close up, it makes things harder.
And I see it helps that you have that support system around you. So a lot of people don't have that support
Yeah.
system. They don't know who to turn to. But with Charm School, I see you have I call her Coach T. You have Miss Gandy. You have the other young ladies in the Charm School that you could turn to if you can't turn to
Yes,
someone else. At least they're gonna be there for you. So that's a good thing to know.
most definitely.
Look like Jean, she's clarifying that question.
Okay.
Expressing empathy through reflective listening.
Yes. Actually, so what happens in our mirror activity? Almost always somebody's going through a similar situation or has been through a similar situation, which creates that empathy. And that's why that's my very first activity that I do every single year is mirror, because it brings us close together. It builds relationship and rapport. And they are there. They literally create a sisterhood. So with our mirror boot camp last year, we had 5 ladies, and 2 of these ladies were a part of that. And literally I couldn't separate them, by the end of the first night because it built such great relationship. And they just kind of created this bond where it's just like, oh my gosh, like we're going to be there for each other. We're going to be here next year. And then COVID happened. But other than that, we build relationship through our activities. That's the first thing that we do.
Gotcha.
I have a quick question. Do you guys have like a brother group or a group that you team with young men, like a boys? Because I think a lot of times, especially young guys, it gets lost that you have to be hard. You have dramatic episodes as well in life.
Yep.
Mental health awareness, which we're big about. So do you guys team up with the Charm School for maybe young guys or kids or boys?
So that's a really good question too. So it's funny because every time I go to a school, every time I run into a parent or someone interested, it's like, do y'all do this for boys? And I'm always like, I would love to do it for boys, but I really think it should be a man who runs it. And I can assist, but they always ask me, well, you should start one for boys. And I'm like, I can't do it because I'm not a man. Like, they need to hear it from a man's perspective. But that is actually something I'm looking for, an individual to help create a space for boys the same way that I do Charm School. So that is something that is in the next steps, because I want to be able to collaborate with someone and start it from the ground up. So, but right now we don't necessarily partner with anyone else, but we are looking to creating another organization or a branch of just the bigger picture of empowering our girls, but also empowering our boys and our young men.
Yeah, that's a question. So I look forward. Hopefully, even through, like I said, networking and everything, we can possibly find, someone that can collaborate with you. And all the way from Houston to Dallas, everything's virtual now, so it makes it a lot easier.
That's right.
Well,
Right.
But I want to thank the 2 young ladies. I know Sanaya is at the game, so we don't want to keep you from rooting for your brothers out there.
They ain't even my real ones. I'm my only child. That's how much love I got for them.
That's some love for them right there. And then, Lyric, what you doing over there?
Lyric in trouble.
With slime.
Huh? Playing with slime?
I'm playing with slime.
Oh, okay. She playing over there. I remember playing with slime back in the day too.
Right.
But yeah, I want to thank you, Lyric, and I want to thank Sanaya for coming on the show. We're gonna have the applause when I'm gonna edit the applause in there for y'all. Thank y'all for coming on the show, and we're gonna keep in touch with y'all and the progress that y'all are making. So we're gonna hear from y'all soon, okay?
All right, thank you.
All right, thank you.
Bye.
Bye, Lyric.
You guys.
Bye.
Awesome. I appreciate that. So I want to make sure you leave your information and as far as social media, any way that someone that's interested to contact you, I've actually already had someone inquire about your services and what
Nice.
y'all do, and their main concern was that you were out of town. You was
Uh-huh.
in Dallas. So can you talk about, how would you be able to coordinate, long distance, as far as events or providing your services?
Yeah, so actually thanks to COVID, I have learned how to teach hybridly. So working at a school, there were days where in the beginning I was teaching half of the class in person and then the other half were online. So with that being said, that's kind of what I've adapted in charm school as well. So that's why Sanaya is definitely a part of us because we do things in person and she'll be online with us. And we kind of just keep it like that. As far as events, as COVID begins to, hopefully one day allow us to open up again, we do want to try to do our summer program again. And so that will just be paid. The goal is to have it paid for, where all you have to do is get your daughter to Dallas or to the Metroplex, and then you drop her off and you come back and get her in 5 days. So where you don't have to pay. That is my ultimate goal. I want to make sure that nobody has to give anything. So I'm really working on grants and stuff to allow events to be free. That way it's not costly. And then from there, again, just keeping in touch. I try to check on grades as much as possible and their behavior. And so the ones that are at my school, it's a little bit easier to keep track of them. But the ones that are not, their parents do let me know. So we just try. I have an assistant who also couldn't make it today, but she helps me just call the parents and keep them involved and make sure that they know what's going on and all of that. So it just takes the team. It's a little bit of extra effort, but we do whatever we can to serve the girls that we have.
How do we also donate to the cause?
Okay, so you can actually, I have and it's CS 101A. So that's Charm School 101 Academy is what that stands for. And you just put it directly there. And if you could put in the subject line donation, that would be great. I want to make sure that we account for that because we have to log everything so that we have everything we need.
Definitely. So do you have anything that you would want to leave with our audience, like a positive note, anything that you want to leave with the people?
I would say this, because I think I even got to a point where I worried about kids, and I was just like, oh my gosh, what is our future going to be like? What is it going to look like? And so I basically just decided that I was going to have hope in our children again, and that I was going to pour into them and dig into them, because as long as they are open to receive, I was going to do that. And even if I just planted a seed, I would just plant a seed. So sometimes it may not be you making the change or helping them make that shift. You might just be planting the seed. And the seed planter is just as important as the person who nurtures and waters it. So again, just like, don't give up on our girls, love our boys and our young men, and just plant the seed, because you never know what kind of difference you'll make by just planting the seed and saying one thing positive. I have kids that come back to me and say, oh, Mrs. Gandy, you told me this. And I'm like, I don't even remember that, but I planted a seed that I didn't even realize because I was just loving them well. And so ultimately, literally just plant the, you're just a seed planter. That's okay. If you're a person that gets to nurture and, shape them, that's okay as well. But don't give up on our kids. We got to empower them. We got to push them forward. And they are more than capable of achieving greatness, more than capable. They just need somebody that believes in them.
I have one last comment too. It sounds like you need to copyright your mirror lesson or curriculum to the list.
Oh, it is.
You need to copyright that. Hey, when you do, send it our way because we're gonna need that.
In my curriculum, it's fine. Okay, nobody does mirror like me. People do mirror, but they don't do it like me.
I want to see it also, because I be needing some self-reflection.
Yes. So, ambition. I love your name. That is such a beautiful name. But like seriously, and I'm gonna leave y'all with this. I have done this with girls and women, older women. Like I literally did this exercise on Friday with a girl's transitional home. And the response, I promise you, 9 times out of 10 is the exact same. So we just, women and even men, we just have this insecurity, within us that has to be brought out. And I don't know what it is, but it's a fear of just being who you are, loving yourself, and just walking into your purpose. And so I just wanted to share that I've done this exercise with so many people, and the response is the same. And so we just need somebody to push us. We need somebody to empower us. But that's it. That's all.
Well, I appreciate that. I was trying to pull up something for you, but I'm gonna have to do it next time. We're gonna make sure we get you back on the show and with the young ladies, because we want to, we like to hear the progress and kind of, where they're at now versus where they're going to be at later. And I'm guessing, have you had something that's like, do they actually like graduate out of your school, or, once they hit?
So I meant to try to get some that had went through the program that are grown and have kids now, but I wasn't able to get them on in a timely fashion. I didn't want to be last minute, so I didn't get them on, but I know that they would love to be a part, because they still reach out to me to this day. So maybe on the next one I can have them come on and they can just tell you themselves about their stories and just how they've overcome, because a lot of them have some pretty beautiful, amazing stories.
That's cool. Awesome. Well, we appreciate you coming on our show tonight. And once again, congratulations for being the nonprofit of the month for November. So, Charm School 101.
Yes,
CEO Tiara Gandy.
Yes.
Thank you for coming on. And we're going to catch up with you soon. Okay.
All right. Sounds good. Thank you so much.
All right. Bye.
All right. Bye. Awesome.
That's great.
So how y'all like the show?
Greatness, pure greatness. It's needed. Something that our young girls need an outlet, someone to talk to. Just nurturing confidence for young girls is really, really important. It's something that's near and dear to my heart, because I know when I was a kid, baby, I needed some confidence. And just knowing that there is somebody out there that's actually, going through the process and helping our young girls be great. This is another awesome, purposeful show. I just love everything about it.
Right. I second everything LampBitous was just saying. It's good to know that there's resources out here. I mean, that's what I love about our podcast, not to toot our own horn, but a lot of these resources I never knew about it. So to for people to know and have access, to know that you can go and reach out to other people, it's a beautiful thing, because that's what it's all about. And the word purpose just keeps on reoccurring. I mean, everything, she just left us with that. Once that purpose, it's a beautiful thing. So
most definitely.
Yeah. So I know we kind of ran over. Do y'all want to? We had a second segment of the show, but we can, continue that for the next show. It was about the, politics and elections and all that's going on. So
only thing I want to leave with the world that's been on my mind is, yes, the Black community we stepped up. We went out and we made things happen.
Mm-hmm.
Only thing I want to just people to remember is that men and women made this happen. And I do feel like the men are being forgotten. And so just most importantly is just recognize both parties. I really do. It's like this, all you see is Black women, but like 86% Black men also voted. So I feel like y'all deserve your flowers. Don't, it's the Black community as a whole. We have to get back into our unity and just doing things together and not leaving one group behind. So that's all that I.
Glad you brought that up. I'm just excited that people exercise their right to vote, first and foremost, because they said last presidential election, only 60% of people that were eligible to vote voted. And so to know that people died, risked their life just to be able to cast their ballot, come on, people, get out there. I don't care who you voted for or whatever. That's none of my business, But the fact that you went out and voted, they made it easier because of COVID. If you needed to mail it in, whatever, just exercise your right, because you can't complain about policies if you don't go out there and exercise your right to vote, whether your candidate won or lost.
You have no say. Zip it.
That's it. That's it.
Yep. So
Yeah.
it was. I mean, it happened. So that was just all that I had. I'm just, it's just me.
Yeah, the only thing I was gonna throw in my 2 cents was that it's now that it's more important not only to vote, but to vote early at a younger age. Like, once you're eligible to vote, it's kind of like on a back burner. You're not even thinking about it. It's like whatever happens, happens. It doesn't matter. And you don't really realize it, how important it is until you get older. And you're, I think the demographic was like 35 to 55 is where most people are voting. Is the age range that most people are voting. So now, I would like to see that start much, much earlier, because younger folks are becoming more and more aware. I think information on the internet is easily accessible, but you got to be careful because a lot of information may or may not be accurate or true. So I think that causes people to ask a lot of questions, and the good thing is you want to ask people that's been through it before. So I think that's a good thing. Of course, we started out with a hashtag muscle your vote, and due to COVID, a lot of things as far as getting people early voter registration done and stuff like that, it made an impact and reached out to a lot of young people. So we want to continue doing more of that. And like Mr. Lloyd said, we're going to be at Muscleheads on the 14th, right?
Yeah, we'll be at Muscleheads this Saturday from 10 to 2, 2715 Emancipation Avenue in the heart of Houston, 3rd Ward. To come out support, it's free. Community outreach, and like you said, whether it's to encourage people to vote, whether it's health, to encourage people to get your glucose screening to see if you are diabetic, get your blood pressure checked. Like, we have to be in tune going forward as a community, whether it's physically, mentally, financially, everything. So I encourage people to come out, and we'll keep everybody posted.
Right. So there's no excuse. I mean, it's free. The location, 3rd Ward is kind of like middle of Houston. So it's no excuse. Muscleheads is the gym. So maybe you might even be able to get some type of workout or get some consultation from one of the trainers over there, and the owner, Mr. Clifford, right?
Mr. Clifford Jackson, the owner, a former officer. So it's a
good dude,
a black owned gym. So, and then, hey, we might get a photo shoot with Miss Ambitious if you're lucky. If y'all come out there, I'm just messing with you.
I'm gonna make it. I am. I'm just not doing my hair until the first of the year, so we just gonna have to make it happen. But
okay.
Saturday.
I'm getting a haircut this morning, so yes.
Yeah, no, it's no twist November, so I gotta
no twist November.
No twist November, so I might wear a hat.
We're gonna be out there Saturday. Oh yeah, hat game. Yeah, so we're gonna be out there November 14th, Saturday, 10 to 2, with their good deeds, Officer Sheldon. So we're going to be out there. I think it's another organization that's just slipping my mind right now.
It's Faith City Church.
Okay, that's what it
is. So we're going to be on that Tuesday morning from 10 to 2, handing out food and hygiene products to the homeless. It's his 7th annual. We're blessed to be a part of it, and a lot of our beginnings came, from him. So it's like I say, it's all about us networking, uplifting one another, encouraging, empowering one another, and that's what it's all about.
Definitely.
So there's a lot going on in November, and there's going to be even more that we're going to announce later. So stay tuned. So other than that, that's all I have. It was a good show tonight. We hope to see y'all next time. Same Tuesday, same 7:15. So we're going to be live. Check out the flyers that we're going to be posting, and the websites for Charm School 101 if you're interested in helping them out, donating, or putting a young girl, daughter, sister, whoever that you may want to recommend somebody. That's something that's really good for them to get into. So once again, we'll be posting all of that on your social media platform. So with that being said, good golf, good tennis, or whatever makes you happy. We're out. LampBitous.
Bye. See y'all next time.
Peace.